Hello and welcome again to Motor Week 89. We're glad to have you with us. There have been a lot of words used to describe Honda's current generation Civic hatchback. Words like reliable, efficient, or practical. Exciting, however, hasn't been one of them. That word has always gone to the closely related CRX line and its hot-stepping SI. Well, this year the Civic hatchback gets a new SI version of its own and a whole new vocabulary to go with it. The first word in this new vocabulary is stylish. Our all-black Civic Si test car was one of the sharpest-looking subcompacts to roll onto the Motor Week lot in some time. The actual differences between the Si and the base hatchback are minor, which just goes to show what a good design the Civic is to start with. Changes include a lower chin spoiler, which gives the nose a more aggressive look. The body then flows backward in typical Civic fashion to the tail with its roof-mounted spoiler and discrete SI badges. It all rides on a set of 14-inch wheels mounting high-performance Bridgestone rubber. The wheels themselves are steel with plastic covers. A set of alloys would have been nice, but this is still an economy car. Economical to drive, that is. The EPA rates the SI hatchback's fuel mileage at 28 city, 33 highway. Our mixed test loop returned an even better 34 miles per gallon. And the SI hatchback has a base price of $9,980. With options, ours came to $11,631. When we consider what other hot hatchbacks cost, we have to add inexpensive to our list of words. The Civic SI's 1.6-liter 16-valve fuel-injected four-cylinder makes 108 horsepower and 100 pound-feet of torque. This same engine powers the CRX SI. It gives the Civic Si 16 horsepower over the DX grade hatchback and a whopping 38 horsepower over the base car. So add power to the SI's vocabulary. 108 horsepower pulls the SI from 0 to 60 in a very respectable 9.1 seconds. To match the extra power, Honda added a performance final drive ratio for more scoot. The quarter mile ends in 16.7 seconds at 81 miles per hour. A light, crisp 5-speed shifter and excellent gear ratios keep the power flowing. No automatic is available. But while power is plentiful through the entire gear range, it all appears at once. This makes smooth throttle operation a necessity. Otherwise, you can sit spinning your front wheels all day. The SI hatchback's superior handling comes from the same type of suspension the CRX SI has. Independent double wishbones and gas shocks provide a remarkably balanced feel with minimal front plow and excellent grip. However, the Civic SI's manual steering may not be for everyone. At lower speeds, it's a pain for parking. But once you get going, the steering lightens up considerably and provides excellent communication between driver and road. And emergency maneuvers won't even ruffle your hair. This is a car that you have to work a bit to drive, but the effort is worth the experience. Braking is accomplished with the same power-assisted front disc rear drum combination found on all Civic hatchbacks. Stops averaged 126 feet from 60 miles per hour, a good result. There's plenty of feedback through the brake pedal. Our car did, however, pull to the right under hard braking. It was controllable but annoying. With all this to offer the driver, we'd be lax not to add performance to our new vocabulary. The next word to enter is efficient. The SI hatchback's interior is a typically well laid out piece of Honda engineering, and it has reasonable room. Front seating comes in the form of two typically hard, short Honda buckets. There's too little thigh support and too much lower back support. The huge bolsters hold you in during spirited driving, but you better be thin. Tall adults, though, will find headroom somewhat short. That can be blamed on the power sunroof that is standard on the Civic Si. The dash is the same efficient unit we expect to see in all Hondas. Everything is located for easy operation. Driving information comes from large analog gauges. It's a nice clear cluster, but information is sparse for a performance model. The center dash pod houses well-marked, easy-to-use heat and ventilation controls. Our test car also came equipped with a very nice optional cassette stereo. And between the door pockets, a dash-top package shelf, and big glove box, there's plenty of interior storage. Rear seat room is hatchback tight, especially in head and leg room. We recommend this area for children only. A split folding seat back is standard in case you have more luggage than children. It's the luggage area that makes best use of the car's interior room. The space is wide and fairly deep, but the near bumper height liftover is very narrow. The Mitsubishi Mirage or similar Colt turbos, on the other hand, have more interior space. The Mitsubishi design is also quicker through the quarter mile thanks to its more powerful engine. But a comparably equipped Mirage or Colt will run over $1,000 more, and its overboosted steering lacks feel. The Volkswagen GTI is more powerful than the Civic and offers better handling than almost anything in the hot hatchback class. But its high price puts it well beyond the Civic's class. Hits include the smart styling, quick acceleration, and superb handling. We were also impressed by the SI's excellent steering feel and fine fuel economy. Misses include the uncomfortable seats and poor braking stability. So we can't use the word perfect to describe the Honda Civic Si hatchback. But as you have seen, there are plenty that we can use. And our favorite word is fun.
Motor Week is made possible by TireRack.com, Hum by Verizon, RockAuto.com, State Farm, and WeatherTech.
By now, no one has escaped the media blitz. The new Honda Accord is out, and the company says it's better in every way, and it will lead the way for all the other cars in the same class. Well, that's pretty bold talk, the kind that says, I dare you to prove me wrong. Even though last year the Accord nameplate was America's bestseller, the impulse to prove Honda's boasting wrong is a hard one to overcome. We managed to beat it, though, when the Accord spoke for itself. Unlike Honda's ad agency, the redesigned Accord speaks in hushed tones, with care not to alienate potential buyers. Despite its aerodynamic styling, it still has a conservative look and bears a resemblance to the past Accord. It's not a progressive shape, but at least it should make owners of older Accords feel right at home. So should the car's paint and the fit of body parts. Quality in our test car was excellent throughout. One of the biggest changes in the Accord is its wheelbase, now measuring 107 inches. That's nearly 5 inches longer than last year's car. Overall length is also increased by about the same. That means more interior room. With it, the front seats have been enlarged and moved forward, leaving more legroom for rear seat passengers. Other improvements include a new dash design. Aside from looking like it came out of a BMW, it's molded in one piece, which should minimize rattles over the life of the vehicle. But some staff members feel that the black dash inserts do not blend well with other interior colors. There's not much new to report here. Gauge faces look about the same as before. We could still ask for readouts for volts and oil pressure. Honda Accord prices start at $12,145. Our test car was the new top model, the $16,595 Accord EX. Surprisingly, seat adjustments are minimal and manual. There's also a wheel for lumbar adjustment. The steering wheel adjusts too, and there's the necessary motorized automatic restraint. We'd prefer an airbag. Mirrors and windows are power operated. A lockout feature ensures the driver will control window use. Other convenience features include easy-to-reach fuel door and trunk releases. Cruise control is part of the package too, conveniently located on the steering wheel. Other switches and buttons are right where you'd expect to find them in a Honda, and unfortunately some are hidden from driver view, too close to the steering column. Aside from those few hidden buttons, the convenience of the new dash is excellent. Vents, heat controls, and radio are all within easy reach. Some of the buttons on the stereo cassette are a bit fussy, though, and the volume lever is not lighted and difficult to find at night. The EX is the only Accord model that offers a sunroof. It's a high-quality glass unit like we're used to seeing on more expensive luxury cars. Other features are more pedestrian, like this cup holder, which hides when not in use. For hiding other things, there's a deep glove compartment. As we mentioned, the rear seat area offers more legroom than before. Headroom, however, is still not what we'd expect. While the EX's sunroof is a space-saving design, it still takes up almost an inch of what's available. All trim levels feature a lockable fold-down rear seat and a roomy 14.4 cubic foot cargo area. Liftover is low, and trunk floor and sides are well finished. So is this compartment, and it's home to an all-new engine. With 2.2 liters, it makes 130 horsepower and 142 pound-feet of torque. Like so many four-cylinders we're seeing these days, this one has 4 valves per cylinder. Unlike most of them, it uses a single cam to drive the valve. The engine also employs 2 counter-rotating balance shafts to dampen vibration. On cars with automatic transmission, an electronically controlled rear engine mount also squelches low-frequency engine shakes. The result is a smooth acceleration, but not without its share of noise. Our 5-speed manual Accord EX went from 0 to 60 in 8.8 seconds. The quarter mile took 17.2 seconds, ending at 81. Those are good numbers for a car in this class. Unlike most of its competitors, the Accord uses a 4-wheel double wishbone suspension design. Components are all new this year, and to look at them, you'd think they came from a race car. But they don't make the Accord feel like one. Cornering is confident, but body roll and nose plow sap handling spirit. Drivers will appreciate the supple suspension more when the road gets rough, and the Accord soaks up bumps better this year thanks to increased suspension travel. To go with that, the Accord has variable assist power steering. It offers high assist for easy parking at low speeds, and low assist for a solid steering feel at highway speeds. And for decreasing speed, the Accord's brakes have been upgraded too, with larger components. Unfortunately, anti-lock capability is not yet available. Performance, however, is commendable, and the brake pedal requires low effort but maintains a firm feel. The 5-speed Accord EX is EPA rated at 24 city, 30 highway. Our figure for all-around driving was a disappointing 21. Interior sound measured an unobtrusive 68 decibels. As for our safety check, the Accord fails to have airbags for the passenger or driver, nor does it have anti-lock brakes. It does have shoulder belts for outboard rear seat passengers. Topping our list of hits is the Accord's flawless fit and finish. We also like its improved ride and smooth engine. That's all part of a general sense of refinement that characterizes the car. Misses are for what the Accord is missing. Other cars in its class offer V6 engines and anti-lock brakes as options. The Accord doesn't. We also think the top EX model should have a suspension that's tuned for sportier driving. Toyota's Camry is priced about the same as the Honda Accord, and it's one of those cars that offers a V6 and anti-lock brakes. However, it has even less inspired looks, both inside and out. Chevrolet's Corsica also offers a V6 engine, plus a lower price tag and a sport suspension package. But it fails to offer a modern fuel-saving 4-speed automatic overdrive transmission. Despite the Accord's omissions, it has something that not all other cars do. There is more to it than the sum of its parts. And if one word characterizes this intangible element, it's smoothness. The Accord goes down like blended whiskey or gourmet ice cream. And that's the thing that will keep buyers coming back.
Motor Week Mighty, television's automotive magazine, with your host, John Davis.
Well, hello and welcome again to Motor Week 90. We're glad to have you with us. Car companies sometimes strive to create an aggressive image for their products, but not Hyundai. They wanted their Excel to be the thinking driver's economy car, frugal to buy, economical to own, and steady on the go. Much to their chagrin, buyers have turned the Excel into something of an urban gorilla. An Excel without body damage in many northeastern cities is as rare as a street without potholes. So Hyundai has responded with this all-new Excel. While loyal to its original goals, it is beefed up in every way. But is it ready for those who must win their daily street battles and still stick to a budget? The original Hyundai Excel was the best-selling new import car in U.S. history. This latest Excel is meant to repeat that performance and to recover the market share lost during the industry-wide downturn in auto sales. To that end, the Excel has been given a new exterior, a rounder, smoother look, much like its bigger Sonata brother. While less distinctive than the original body, it fits easily in among the current crop of Oriental economy cars. The Excel's body has also been filled out with more flush glass and sound deadening materials added to reduce noise. With a 69 decibel interior noise measurement at highway speeds, however, we found little difference between the old and new. EPA mileage ratings are 29 city, 36 highway. We got a healthy 34 miles per gallon. The larger, rounder body shell means that interior space grows by 3 cubic feet. There's also a new interior that, while more modern looking, fails to improve on the previous Excel's discount choice of dash and seat materials. Seating in our GL grade test car comes in the form of cloth-covered buckets. They're fairly well padded and provide decent back support, but our long-legged staff members found thigh support to be lacking. Safety equipment consists of door-mounted passive belts similar to those used by Volkswagen and General Motors. What gauges there are large and easy to read, but the lack of a tachometer on our GL model and the empty space left by its exclusion makes the cluster look a little too basic. GS and GLS Excels do get a tach. Dash controls are large and clearly marked with the usual plugs and dummy switches. We like the ventilation controls, which consist of well-marked, easy-to-use rotary dials. Driving music in our GL comes from an optional AM/FM cassette deck. Sound quality is good, though the low dash position and busy controls make it hard to use while driving. Interior storage space is plentiful and includes a handy slide-out tray under the front passenger seat. Rear passenger space is also generous, fitting even our tall staff members comfortably. A 60-40 split seatback is standard. But our favorite space is the roomy trunk. There's a low liftover for easy loading and a wide, flat luggage area. At the other end of the Excel, the Mitsubishi-designed 1.5-liter four-cylinder engine is new and sports multi-point fuel injection that boosts power output 20% to 81 horses. Torque is also up to 91 pound-feet. This allows the Excel to reach 60 miles per hour in a very respectable 11.3 seconds. The quarter mile runs out in 18.1 seconds at 75 miles per hour. The engine is peppy with plenty of low and mid-range power, but like so many EconoBox engines, it buzzes and rattles when asked to make power quickly. The 5-speed manual shifter's long rubbery throws also feel rather inexpensive. Acceleration runs were also hampered by a clutch that reacted slowly to driver input. A more positive unit would probably trim acceleration times considerably. Hyundai has adjusted the Excel's four-wheel independent suspension to improve handling, but the heavy front plow and loose tail show that it still has a way to go before it can catch many of its competitors. Body roll is substantial, and the heavily boosted power steering sends little information back to the driver. This isolation can be unnerving during emergency maneuvers when you most need to know what the car is doing. Braking fares better, with the front disc rear drum combination bringing the car down from 60 and a good average distance of 129 feet. Like many EconoBoxes, there is some lockup, but a responsive pedal makes it easy to keep the Excel under control. Out in the daily grind, the Excel acquits itself well with a fairly smooth ride that does a good job of soaking up the bumps. Price-wise, the base Excel 3-door starts at $5,899. Our 4-door GL begins at $7,879. With options, it rolls off the showroom floor at $9,444. That's less than a comparably equipped Ford Escort LX. The Ford offers better performance than the Hyundai, more luggage space, and a more luxurious interior. It also has more distinctive styling. The Toyota Corolla LE is also a better performer than the Excel, but costs a lot more. Its interior is also superior. It has more trunk space, but lacks the Hyundai's folding rear seat back. In our safety check, the Excel passes with rear shoulder belts, but like almost all economy cars, it lacks either driver or passenger side airbags and has no anti-lock brakes. Our list of hits starts with the Excel's price. It's still one of the lowest around. We're also impressed by the excellent gas mileage, interior room, large trunk, smooth ride, and improved acceleration. On the miss list, we place the slow clutch, overboosted power steering, rubbery shifter, and lackluster interior materials. The Hyundai Excel may not be the Econobox equivalent of a Rolls-Royce, but it offers what a lot of drivers need: basic transportation at a basic price. This was the key to Hyundai's original success, and it should keep the company firmly entrenched in the U.S. market throughout the 90s.
Motor Week is made possible by rockauto.com.
When most people think of Japanese car companies, they think of the giants like Honda and Toyota. But there's an entire second rank of Japanese companies that are less well known. Companies such as Isuzu, Subaru, and Daihatsu. These companies follow their own path, frequently a different one than their giant corporate countrymen. Take Isuzu, for instance. This company actually sells more trucks in the U.S. than cars. And while Isuzu is proud of its success with American truck lovers, moving a few more cars would be nice. That's where this car comes in. It's the 1990 Impulse, a totally new design that Isuzu hopes will bring a lot more car buyers into their fold. And Isuzu is trying to do it by positioning the Impulse at the lower middle end of the sports coupe market. Listen to this quote from the Isuzu press kit. While other automakers continue with an unbridled race towards excessive size and horsepower and unrestrained cost for dubious technology, Isuzu is determined to provide practical levels of performance at conscionable prices. Sounds great, but our test car came with a price tag of $13,954. The base price is $11,999. Conscionable perhaps, and very affordable, but not cheap. In the matter of performance, our Impulse XS needed 9.2 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour. The quarter mile took 16.8 seconds and ended at 83 miles per hour. While considerably faster than most sedans, this level of acceleration certainly meets Isuzu's claim of practical. And there's an even brighter side to that practicality. Buy an Impulse and you're likely to get along better with your insurance company. Your agent won't blink an eye when you tell him the engine is only a 1.6 liter. Small as it is, it makes a healthy amount of power, 130 horses. As with many 16-valve 4s, the engine must be revved high to get at that power. Peak power comes at 6,800 RPM, and at that speed the engine is also making lots of noise. The 5-speed gearbox, though, is a joy, with fairly short throws and precise action. The clutch isn't as nice, feeling mushy and engaging late in the pedal's travel. For terminating travel, the Impulse gets 4-wheel disc brakes. Anti-lock brakes are not offered. Even so, the Impulse impressed us, stopping straight and in a reasonable distance, 130 feet on average. There was some minor wheel locking, and we noted that it was more difficult to avert lockup as the brakes grew hotter, but overall performance was good. As for handling, overall cornering power is good, but the Impulse doesn't behave as we expect front-drive cars to behave. It takes to a tight turn like a high-performance sports car, throwing its tail end out. The lifting inside rear wheel looks bad, but is barely felt. Manners like these are entertainment for the skilled driver, but they can be frightening for the uninitiated. At higher speed, we noted excellent steering response and less of a tendency to slide at the rear. The Handling by Lotus badge is well-deserved. Isuzu has provided a very responsive behavior for the Impulse, something few other practical cars have. If the Impulse reminds you a lot of the Geo Storm, it should. The car shares its platform and most of its looks with the Geo. But the Impulse has a more traditional nose treatment and consequently seems confused. Its front end is in the 80s, while its rear end is in the 90s. Things are unusual on the inside too. The standard cloth fabric has color-keyed inserts for the front seats, but the rear seat has only solid color fabric. The dash is clean, wide, and functional. It's set far forward for a cabin with a spacious feel. Plastic quality is good and better than the Geo Storm we tested almost 2 years ago. The gauges are no-nonsense analog with clear, legible faces.
The paint around the hidden door latches is bound to take a beating, but the driver won't if he or she is in a frontal collision, thanks to a standard airbag. Seat adjustments are all manual, and so are the shoulder harnesses, but 6-foot drivers may have a problem with headroom. Some of the buttons and switches on the dash are hidden by the steering wheel, but all are easy to reach. Lights and wipers operate from pods above either side of the wheel. Heat and ventilation controls are basic. Air conditioning is a $750 option. Power windows are part of the Sport package, but they're located too far away from the driver for easy operation. As for passengers, there's so little room in the rear seat that no one on our staff wanted to stay here long enough to be videotaped. But here's the best way to make use of the rear seat: fold it down. Cargo room is rather limited unless you do this anyway. The Isuzu Impulse is EPA rated at 26 city, 34 highway. Our car returned 26 miles per gallon in typical driving, and the Impulse had a ride smoothness of cars with a much longer wheelbase. In our safety check, the Impulse XS passes with a driver airbag and rear shoulder belts. True to its class, it fails to offer anti-lock brakes or a front passenger airbag. Our list of hits starts with the driver's side airbag and comfortable ride, things we're not used to in a car this small or inexpensive. We also like the Impulse's quick steering response and precise shifter. For misses, we note the vague-feeling clutch, limited cargo and rear passenger room, and awkward front-end styling. For comparison, Honda's CRX-SI is a smaller, two-seat-only car, but it offers more cargo room, livelier acceleration, and a price that's lower by about $1,500. But its ride is not as comfortable as that of the Impulse, and its styling is dated. The slick-looking Ford Probe LX equipped like the Impulse would cost about $1,000 more. It offers a powerful V6 engine and much more rear passenger and cargo room, but its fuel economy is not as good. The Impulse clearly fits between the CRX and the Probe in price and size. But being in the middle, the Impulse also combines many of the best aspects of each in a package that should appeal strongly to first-time car buyers. While not a true sports car for the budget-minded, the Isuzu Impulse will likely be perceived as one.
Motor Week is made possible by Tire Rack.
Well, I did it again. This is a 1989 Toyota Corolla sedan, LE edition. I bought it for a fairly low price from a dealership, and I gotta say, this car is in pretty damn good condition. It has some minor aesthetic touch-ups that it could use, that it could benefit from, but overall, for the price that I paid, this car drives like a dream. I don't know who had it, but they did a decent job taking care of it. As you can see, it's gonna need some a touch-up in paint. Not looking forward to that. I did have to make some minor repairs to it. I had to change out the CV joints for the front driver's side.
중고차 판매 200만 원 이득 본다는 이 광고 사실일까요? 진실을 알려드립니다. 중고차 팔 때 현장에서 엄청나게 감가당했다는 후기가 굉장히 많습니다.
Get some new tires for it and a wheel alignment. The rear speakers are blown, so I'll probably invest in getting that changed, but I'm not really in a rush. It's not a big deal. But this thing is beautiful. Power windows, power locks. Cruise control. And the radio works. The air conditioning works, which if you guys, you already know, you know, trying to find a car that still has working air conditioner from 30 years ago, you know, that's an Easter egg hunt. So we'll see how long it lasts. It's automatic, unfortunately. Can't have everything. Oh, and it does have a minor crack in the windshield. I don't know if you guys can see it. You can't really see it too well, but it's minor. So I'll have to get that taken care of. Don't want it to worsen. But this car is in great shape. There are very few things in life that I've purchased where I've had no remorse or buyer's guilt, and this is one of them. The seats let down for more storage. The latches, where is it? I can't reach it, but this seat does let down as well. The engine is standard, you know, it's nothing to brag about for any race enthusiasts. Let's see. Bear with me. I'm working with one hand. And this is what we got. 16 valve engine, 4 cylinders. Carbureted engine too. She drives great. Gets me from point A to point B. Can't complain. Let's try starting her up. Floor mats are all original too, although I will definitely change it out so that I don't mess it up any further. It's on its last leg. Where did I put the keys? There they are. Give it 2 pumps of the gas. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. If you guys know what that might indicate, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Sometimes the ignition is slow to start, so I don't know. But she's all there.
International aid organizations talk about infertility in...
Like I said, cruise control works, the air conditioning works, blows ice cold. Power windows. Oh. Power locks. Some of them might need a little bit more. There we go. A little bit more help. I think, let's see, you can adjust the brightness. How about that? And one of the things that I really love about this car is just the minimalist feel to it. There's no computers, no gimmicks, no bells, no whistles. It's just a car. It gets you from point A to point B. It does everything that you need it to do. It's simple, reliable. It's a Toyota. So, you know, it's built to last. I'm not sure if this was made in Japan. Let me see, actually, because I am curious. Ah, there's no sticker. I'd have to look under the hood or something. But yeah, I don't know if this car was manufactured in Japan or in the US. I'm pretty sure it's manufactured in Japan, but I don't know off the top of my head. But they're well built, and as long as you take care of it and you do the bare minimum preventative maintenance, it will last you a long time. This car is well over 30 years old. Whoever had it did a damn good job taking care of it, and I appreciate them for that, for sure. Anyway, I just wanted to share my my little experience with my little car. Hopefully I can get a better recording device where I don't.
Motor Week is made possible by TireRack.com and RockAuto.com.
Well, hello and welcome to Motor Week 88. We're glad to have you with us. This time we're going to take a look at the first Japanese model that we've tested this fall, the Toyota Corolla. Of all the Japanese car makers, Toyota has had the edge with new engine technology. A few years back, Toyota was the first to bring 16-valve, 4-cylinder engines to the masses. And this year, as usual, Toyota has upgraded nearly every car in its lineup. And this year, even the bread and butter Corolla family sedan gets that 16-valve treatment. So we have to ask this question: how much can Toyota upgrade economy cars and still call them economy cars?
Since the Corolla name is nearly synonymous with basic family transportation, let's start with the basics. From stem to stern, the 1988 Corolla four-door sedan looks new. Styling is smooth and contemporary, borrowing heavily from the larger Camry. While the wheelbase is unchanged, an extra inch in width and 4 inches in length gives the Corolla a much larger stance than most other subcompact sedans. The heart of this Corolla, however, is even more significant than its face. Each and every Corolla now sports a 1.6-liter 16-valve 4-cylinder engine. To some car makers, engines like this are a high-cost option. But Toyota is bringing this latest in engine technology to the class of cars that need more power but can't afford to lose their high fuel economy image. On that note, the Corolla is EPA rated at 30 city and 35 highway with a 5-speed manual. Our test loop of 33 certainly seems in keeping with the Corolla reputation. But with 22% more horsepower than before, we also can't fault 0 to 60 times of 10.8 seconds. That's above average for all family sedans and significantly better than most other subcompacts. 16-valve engines usually do their best work at high RPM, but Toyota has wisely selected gearing that gives the Corolla a stoplight advantage. The disadvantage of that gearing is slower acceleration to longer distances, but the Corolla doesn't suffer too much. It runs through the quarter mile in 18.3 seconds at 76. Our car's 5-speed manual had nice, light throws with only a little of the vague feeling usually found on front-drive cars. But you have to wonder why the Corolla's engine is still being fed by a carburetor. Toyota says cost and complexity is the reason. We think it's rapidly shrinking profits and a fast-rising yen. The interior of the Corolla also shows its move upmarket. The Econobox pieced-together theme of old Corollas is gone. It's roomy here, with nice-looking fabrics on our base deluxe model. The dash has a sweeping driver's pod that flows into an easy-to-reach center control tower. If one thing still says economy car, it's the gauges. On the deluxe, there's no tack or readouts for oil or voltage. However, the gauges are large with easy-on-the-eyes backlighting. The seats also fail to make a big impression, or rather, we couldn't make an impression on them. They're too hard, yet don't offer enough lower back support. We do, however, appreciate the firm side bolsters, and with the optional tilt steering wheel, anyone should be able to find a comfortable driving position. We like the fact that the radio is mounted high enough to keep its controls from being blocked by the shifter. There are plenty of air vents, and the heat controls are simple and effective. And there's even a handy cup holder. While the rear doors are short, they open very wide to make entry quite easy. The bench seat also has low side bolsters, and head and leg room are good for a subcompact. Rear shoulder belts are not to be found. There is an inside trunk release, and the boot is flat and deep with a bumper height liftover sill. We were surprised that the rear seat on our Deluxe doesn't fold down for additional carrying space. You have to order the more expensive Corolla LE for that feature. Back at our track, we were perhaps expecting too much from our grown-up Corolla. It's by far the best handling Corolla sedan yet, but it still delivers too little feedback to the driver. The optional power steering has almost no feel. The clutch and shifter also require little effort, so the Corolla driver feels somewhat isolated from the road. On the highway, however, longtime Corolla fanciers will find a degree of ride sophistication they simply won't believe. The Corolla that looks like a Camry rides much like one too. At 67 decibels, sound intrusion is also at a point once reserved only for the best luxury cars. We have never been fond of Corolla brakes, or the Camrys either. For 1988, the Corollas are better. As you can see, stops were straight and stable, but we had to take great care not to lock up the front wheels. Distances averaged 132 feet from 55. That's okay, but a 2,200-pound car should stop shorter. Maybe some future Corolla will include anti-lock brakes. They don't yet, nor do they have front passive restraints or rear shoulder belts. Of our 5 safety check items, only bump-proof bumpers and radial tires are present. But then, this Corolla, even with its strong Camry kinship, is still a fairly inexpensive car. The Deluxe 4-doors price tag begins at $8,900, plus freight. Our car tallied closer to $11,000 and included such options as power steering, AM/FM stereo, cruise control, and air conditioning. While price didn't make our list of hits for the Corolla 4-door, its sleek styling, roomy interior, strong 16-valve engine, and commendable fuel economy did. Misses include its vague power steering, touchy brakes, no standard folding back seat, and lack of fuel injection for its sophisticated motor. One of the Corolla's main import competitors, the also new Honda Civic sedan, actually costs more with the same options. But the Honda does have fuel injection for its 16-valve engine, along with better high-speed handling. On the other hand, the Nissan Sentra 4-door has a lower price, but without a 16-valve engine, it also is much slower than a Corolla. And if you think the sedan looks like a downsized Camry, just look at the new Corolla wagon. A revived body style, it is already in high demand. While Corolla sedans have been front-wheel drive for 3 years now, the 2-door coupe joins the fold in 1988. In sporty GTS trim, it makes the most enjoyable use of the Corolla's 16-valve power and fully independent suspension, and it does have fuel injection. With all its improvements and higher price, is the Corolla still an economy car? Well, relative to other cars, yes. It's just that typical families now expect more from their typical cars, and the latest Toyota Corolla delivers in a big way.
Motor Week is made possible by RockAuto.com.
Lots of interesting things have happened in the automotive industry in the past few years. The success of Ford's Taurus and Sable is one of them. These American-made sedans are not only selling well, they're selling to former import owners. While that doesn't have the people at Toyota and Honda shaking, it does have them thinking. What does Ford have that we don't? One answer is 2 extra cylinders. Toyota has decided to respond by bestowing 2 extra cylinders on its 4-door family machine, the Camry. It's not that the Camry was selling poorly as a 4-cylinder. In fact, demand for Camrys is so good that Toyota has opened a plant in Georgetown, Kentucky to keep dealers supplied. So for Toyota's Camry, adding 2 extra cylinders equals broader appeal. And speaking of broad, you have to wonder how Toyota managed to fit the engine in here. There is an excuse for the extra bulk. This 2.5 liter has 4 cams and 4 valves per cylinder. And Toyota was the first automaker to offer a transverse V6 engine with this sophistication in a front-drive car. The only other car that does is the Ford Taurus SHOW. Unlike Ford's engine, Toyota's V6 was not designed for ultra-high performance use. It makes a respectable 153 horsepower with 155 pound-feet of torque. The V6 comes with either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed